Hi, I am Kenya and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want to give you guys roughly 10 tips to get into property management in 2024-2025. Now I currently work in property management but more on the corporate side. However, I was also a property manager. So I think that these tips would be helpful, and I think that, you know, I have enough experience to just give you guys some of these little tips. So number one, have some type of experience in sales or customer service. And if you are someone that's trying to get into like luxury property management, working in luxury communities, I feel like retail experience in luxury department stores, whether it be Saks Fifth Avenue or Gucci, or maybe you worked at a Maserati dealership, like something on the higher end side that you had sales or customer service experience in would be a plus when trying to get into these types of jobs, because you're not just renting an apartment, like you're literally trying to sell a lifestyle, I feel like, to people when they come to luxury apartments, especially when they are, you know, pretty expensive and pricey in rents. Number two, I would say have some type of experience as a real estate agent. When I first got into property management, I had been working under a broker as a real estate agent. So if you are a real estate agent and you want to pivot or transition, this would be something good for you. When you are a realtor, you're basically a self-starter. So if you don't put in your own work, you're not going to make money, because real estate is commission based only. And so I feel like that looks good as far as the employer goes. That's just my opinion. And when I started out renting apartments under my broker, I did do a lot of higher end rentals in like affluent neighborhoods. And so when I went to apply for, you know, property management positions, even though I didn't have any experience working in property management, that was something I used to my advantage. Number three, I would suggest to get a certification in property management or LIHTC certifications, because most properties are tax credit these days. And so really quick, tax credit properties are properties where the developer is getting tax breaks at the end of the year. 20% of the apartments are allotted for affordable housing, and then the rest are market rate rent apartments, okay? And another thing is, when you are looking for jobs and you're looking at the job description, sometimes it'll tell you which certifications are preferred for this position. So try to look into trying to get some sort of certifications for that position. If you can, and if you have like the extra money, I would try to get like one of those certifications. There are a myriad of certifications that you can get to work in property management. It's up to you to just choose the certification that works for you. Number four, try temp agencies. I started with the temp agency. I worked with Robert Half. I worked for an international commercial real estate firm in Manhattan for like a month to see how that was run, which is it's a lot more complex than residential real estate. And then I went to another temp agency here in New Jersey, and I was able to work on a property for about 3 months. And so while I was working with the temp agency, I was actively interviewing with other properties and basically letting them know, like, hey, I'm currently temping, I'm doing the same thing. And so that's how I was able to get hired permanently in property management. Number five, call up a luxury building, book a tour so that you can get an idea of what a hiring manager is looking for in a candidate, and take notes. What I mean by that is you'll get an idea of like what the culture is like working in these types of properties. You will see how like the leasing agent presents themselves, how they are dressed, the types of questions that they ask, you know, while you're on tour. And it will give you a sense of how you are supposed to carry yourself. And number six, to piggyback off of what I've said earlier, is you're going to look at job descriptions for property management positions in your area and try to accumulate the skills or present transferable skills for that position on your resume. All right? And if you have to, pay somebody to help you with your resume, to revamp it, to zhuzh it up a bit. In my current property management position, even though I work in corporate, I feel like I do some sort of, I feel like I do project management in my position, even though that's not my job title. So when I'm going on interviews, I can say, hey, I do this, that, and the third, and it's basically project management because that's what I'm doing. You know, I use project management software, you know, my whole team, and so those are transferable skills. Number 7, I would suggest also to apply for a concierge position and then try to move up to a leasing agent if that's what you want to do, and then so on and so forth if you want to be like a property manager. Now, I know that in New York City, like the concierge, they earn around, even in New Jersey, at the top of Jersey, when I'm online looking, they earn between like $28 and $30 per hour. So I mean, I feel like that's good. You just at the desk, people are coming to collect their packages and all that jazz. Like, why not? Number 8, show up to the interview polished, especially if it's a luxury property. Just think of when you go to stores like Louis Vuitton and Chanel. The sales agents always look very polished. So look as polished as you can. This is why I say book a tour, so you can get an idea of how the leasing agents present. So then you will know how you are supposed to show up to this job interview, you know? Also, practice being as articulate as you can. Number 9, I would say Google property management job fairs in whatever area that you live in, because a lot of large property management companies have job fairs from time to time. And I remember when I was just looking to become a leasing agent, I would just go to like all the job fairs, all the property management job fairs, okay? If there was one, I was there. And so I would just basically go to Google search and just Google property management job fairs in New Jersey, whatever state you live in, New York, Atlanta, Georgia, wherever, and just show up with your resume in hand. Make sure that you are dressed nicely, polished, and go for it. And number 10, I would say find a mentor in the industry. A lot of the times positions will become available and upper management will ask employees if they know anyone who would be interested in certain positions. And I know, like at my last job where I was a property manager, they would be like, oh, we need somebody to work Saturdays. You know anybody, can you? And one of my coworkers got her brother like a weekend job. He would come in like 2 days a week and go to college for the rest of the week because we just needed somebody for those 2 days, you know? And the man who normally did it was like an elderly man, and I think he went to like Israel for like a whole summer. And so we got her brother to do it. And a lot of the times recruiters do reach out to me, myself, and they'll present different positions and they'll ask me, are you interested? And I'll be like, no. And then they'll say, hey, if you can refer someone to us and they are hired, we will pay you a $1,000 bonus for that. And so quite often I get emails from recruiters with different positions, and sometimes I would refer people to those positions. And I will say, if you are serious about a position, like for me, if you reach out to me, the people who reach out to me, they'll just be like, hey, you know, I've been looking for a job in property management. I just got a real estate license, or I've been working in real estate, or I have sales experience. Do you know anywhere that's hiring? And if I know, I will pass the information on. But it's all on how you message me or email me, because I'm just not going to be referring just anybody to positions. I'm not gonna mess up my good, you know, my good name, you know. So those are just my tips for anyone who wants to get into property management in the year 2024, 2025. I hope this video was helpful and not too long-winded, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get to the point and get on up out of here. So if this video was helpful, hit the like button, and I will see you guys in my next YouTube video. Toodles.